Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's live chat where we talk about YouTube and live streaming and all the questions. I may not have all the answers, but I'll give it my darndest. And hopefully, if I don't have the answers, I have someone I can send you to who may have the answers you're looking for. The chat was jumping this morning. Andrew Can was in here saying that the live streams are very interesting in the new layout. Yeah, I agree. And having to close the chat to be able to access the description, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I don't like it. I still have to jump into YouTube and put my feedback form in. I was thinking about it over the weekend and I haven't done it yet. Let me know if you are in the chat, and if you're here, if you can hear me, if you can see me, all those sorts of good things. I think everything's fine. But yeah, not a fan of how that's sitting and looking. Good morning, Amazing Yacht Destinations. How are you going? It's great to see you. You said that the pinned comment to watch while waiting, I really enjoyed watching it, and it was just what I needed to hear. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad, because sometimes we do need that little reminder that because it, sometimes it does feel like that when you're on YouTube, there's like a million voices screaming and vying for your attention, and you're like, it's so saturated, it's too late to start. But the reality is it's not too late to start. It's just not, because we all have our own opinions and we all have our own sort of twist to things on how they work. So, but one thing I did want to say today was I am streaming with StreamYard. I've got my StreamYard merch on. I felt a bit bad last week. StreamYard came in for a visit and using Ecamm, which I also love. I love them both. So I thought, no, today I've got the stream. I did, like, StreamYard don't have a V-neck. I have to make it into a V-neck. But yeah, I've got my StreamYard shirt on. Doug Hewson, good to see you. Hope you are traveling well. Home Rapid Repair is here. Great to see you as well. Jerry Papandrea, what up, YouTubers? What up, Jerry? What up? Thank you, Amazing Yacht Destinations. I appreciate that. Good morning, Frankie over 50. It's got to be early for you, hon, right? I appreciate you jumping in. I'd be probably on my phone in my bed, honestly, if it was that time for me. StreamYard for the win. Absolutely. So why do I like StreamYard? I like StreamYard for a couple of reasons. One is they're pillars of use. So back in the day, they had their weekly live streams, and the thing that they would say every single week is that they had 3 pillars of use, and one of those is ease of use. There you go. Doug's just brought it up. Ease of use. And that's the thing. Like, you know what? We can go to Ecamm, we can go to vMix, we can go to OBS, and we can do all of the things. But you know what else they have? Huge learning curves. And while if you want those bells and whistles, you need to do the learning curve, and I highly recommend that you don't rely on one streaming service. The thing I love about StreamYard is it really is plug and play. It is install it, add your branding, and off you go. And that's one of the things I love about it. The other thing I love, oh, here we go, professional streams. Doug's just dropping them for us. Professional streams. What is the other one? I don't even know what the other one. I focus so hard on ease of use. Ease of use, professional streams. And no, for me, it's all about the ease of use. But the other thing I love is when you bring a guest in. Like I'm in Australia, right? We're considered to have super fast internet if you have 100 down and 40 up. That's considered, like, I've actually seen it described as lightning for Australian internet companies. And they think it's good. They really do think it's good. They think they're competing on a world stage. We know they're not. We know it's not true. We know that it's like, that's really not awesome. And so being able to have a guest where StreamYard takes the load, Ecamm and all of the others, you have to bring the guest into your computer and then push the signal back out again. That's a huge load on your internet, on your bandwidth. The other thing that's a huge load that Ecamm does all the heavy, not Ecamm, that StreamYard does all the heavy lifting with, is multi-streaming. So it's absolutely the multi-streaming that that you can do. Like right now, I'm streaming to YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And it's still the same as if I was just streaming to one destination. Most of the others, if I want to stream to 3, I have to make sure I've got the bandwidth for 3 separate signals to go out. So there's some of the reasons why I love StreamYard. I do. I love StreamYard. Frankie says, StreamYard changed my life. I started live streaming, started a chat show, met a bunch of new friends, all because it was so easy just to start. Do you know what? Streaming changed my life as well. Now, I started streaming before StreamYard was around, so I can't say that it was StreamYard that did it, but I can say that StreamYard made this possible for me. See how the comment is on the screen? I used to have to just have the whole comment feed, and those of you that know me know I don't like that. I don't like the whole comment feed. I like to curate the comments that I share. I like to be able to not include those that are less than stellar. You know what I'm saying? Like those ones that are just not great. I don't want them in my stream. So being able to pick and choose and not just to have everything or nothing. I absolutely love being able to make these decisions and just decide that I want to include Frankie's comment here. You know, or if someone comes in and one of the mods can't hammer them, I just don't have to show that comment on the screen while I've got time to get rid of it in the chat. You know, so there's these things and I love it. I love it. I nearly wore my StreamYard hoodie. I nearly wore my StreamYard hoodie, but I like a zip up hoodie. I like one that I can open because I do overheat. Like I'm sitting here, like I overheat with socks and long pants and a blanket and a hoodie. But I do have the sleeves pushed up and it opens. So oh, excuse me. The air in here is very cold today. It's very cold. Let's have a look here. So no StreamYard logo. Oh, so for a paid plan, this is the paid plan, no StreamYard logo on your streams. You can multi-stream to 3 destinations, logos, overlays, backgrounds, 10 on-screen participants, pre-recorded streams, 1 hour of unlimited streaming, live streams are recorded. Yeah, I love that I do have a Puddles, but I'm keeping Puddles. Also Puddles, poor Puddles. We've had to put Puddles somewhere safe, like it's in a witness protection plan because Louis also likes Puddles and has tried to remove his headphones. But yeah, I just, you know, we could keep going about how much we love StreamYard, or we could just answer all sorts of streaming and YouTube questions. So feel free, if you are here, just to drop your questions in, and we will hit those as well, so that we can do this. Oh, Jerry, I'm with you, mate. I am with you. I love using StreamYard so much. I don't want to edit videos anymore. Look, I actually really enjoy editing, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I actually love sitting down. I like to edit in the dark. Like, let me know in the chat. Do you like to edit in the dark or edit in the light? I make it all nice and dark. I put my headphones on and I just get lost in the world and just sit back and edit. I love to edit. I don't like editing my own face. I love editing other people's stuff, which, you know, is a bit different. But in saying that, I really like a good live stream where you just don't need to, like, okay, all I have to do is just clip a bit out. I don't need to, you know, like I'm going to create a short or a clip. So yeah, it's one of those things. The other plus to StreamYard is it will allow you to bring in as a virtual camera any other type of streaming software to have the more technical. Absolutely. And this is what I usually do, but I didn't do it today. I usually will have Ecamm open and bring in the Ecamm virtual camera and Ecamm virtual mic. That way I can run everything through Ecamm, but then stream it through StreamYard. But today we are just pure StreamYard all the way. Pure StreamYard all the way. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Let's get Chantelle to 500 subscribers so we can get live stream emojis. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be nice? Michael Sahovsky, so good to see you. Everything's fine. Yeah, everything's good. The Puddles protection plan. Yeah, he lives up in the StreamYard mug, up high, where Louis has tried. Louis can get, sometimes there's a box in the front of here and I sort of kick it out of the way. He can get up to this shelf, but he can't get to that shelf. So we had to get Puddles on the top shelf. Greg Hubers, you didn't get your notification. I'm sorry, mate. I can't do anything about the notifications, but what I can tell you is that I stream at the same bat time, same bat station every week. So unless, you know, I pop something in the community tab or I let you guys know that something's happened, I stream at 7 p.m. Eastern every Sunday, except for when you guys change your time zones, and then I think it's 8. But you know, you can always find me there. And I do try to schedule the stream as well. Frankie likes to edit in the dark. Jerry just doesn't like to edit in the light or the dark. So, yeah. Tech for your needs. It's great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, I mean, you're an EST there. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I do like to choose a time for my streams, because YouTube doesn't always send out the notifications, and then you've got to have the notifications set, like the push notifications set onto your device that you're watching. There's too many things that you have to, as the viewer, have to have agreed to. And like for me, I turn off my notifications on my mobile, right? And then, so therefore I don't get the notifications when a stream is on. It's just one of these things. So there's so many hoops to jump through to make the notifications work, and then YouTube decide if you've had enough notifications today. So if you already had enough notifications, they don't want to overwhelm you with the notification of another show. So yeah, I don't understand how the logic works. I choose carefully who I want to be notified from. I'm tired of my audio getting ruined in outdoor shots. I just ordered a boy and mic with the ugly dead cat thing. Oh, I'm sorry that you have to have the ugly dead cat thing. Really sorry about that. I don't know what else to say. Oh, one thing I do want to say is a massive thank you to those of you from last week, where after the stream, and I was about to end it, and then you guys talked me into doing my testing of the hardware live. I had so much fun with that, and it also meant that I wasn't thinking about it the whole time I was away on my holiday. So yeah, it was great. Well, I mean, I kind of was like, what am I going to use that for? That's a great thing. I'm so excited that works. Different kind of thinkings. Yeah, Greg, what I do, because I'm in Australia and I'm in Brisbane time, so it's 9 a.m. Monday for me that these streams start. I use a Google Calendar. I don't know if you use a Google Calendar, but most of them should do this. And what I do is any streams that I love and don't want to miss, like so Doug's and Nick's and a couple of others that I just absolutely love to watch every week, I'll actually go in and add them to my Google Calendar in their local time zone, and then let Google deal with letting me know what time it is in my time zone. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So I'm just curious, which one of the Boyers did you go with? Did you go with a Lav, or did you go with one of their little other options? Because Boyer's got a few choices. It's got a few choices. I'm still deciding like whether or not I actually want to go out and just splurge, which I probably won't. But you know, do I really want to splurge and get a little Rode, you know, Connect or Rode Me or whatever it is? So I don't know. I just don't know. The question is, would I use it? The answer is probably not. Do I just want to add it to my collection? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, let me know in the chat. Are there some things that you just want to buy just because you want to have it? Like you can't actually picture an exact reason of why you would need that right now. But you're one of these people that just has it and goes, oh yeah, I've got that thing. I could totally use that. Because I'm a yarn crafter, right? And I think it's a throwback from the yarn crafting. You have stash. You have a collection of tools. You have I'm not going to admit to how much yarn I own. Let's just go with a lot, okay? But if I got a phone call in the middle of the night and someone said, oh my God, I need a sweater in these colors, in this size, but I don't have time to wait for post, there's a good chance I could help them. There's a pretty good chance I could help them out. So yeah, it's one of those things where if I want to start a project in the middle of the night, I want to be able to start it. I want to have all the tools here. I want to have all the yarn here. I don't want to have to be like, oh my God, I've got to wait. Like Australia Post is the laughing stock of the couriers of the world, I think. There's a thing happening in the yarn craft world at the moment where there was someone on a group having a complaint that their parcel from Denmark took 6 days, and us Australians are just like, because I ordered something from a state away and it's been 2 weeks and I still don't have it. But these people can get something from another country, out of that country into their country, which they're not close. It's not like they're two European companies. It's Denmark and the US. And it's in the US and then hits like a country area of US, which is why this person was complaining they were used to being city area and having the parcel in 5 days. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was really loud. That was so loud. Why are you so loud? I need to turn your volume down. I don't know why your volume was even up. So yeah, it is. Oh, gear acquisition syndrome. Yes. Greg says, I buy a lot of model airplanes. And do you love them? Do you love them? Absolutely. Oh, here we go. Absolutely. Electro Voice RE20 with the shock mount, 550 total. Okay, that's the one you want. Can you ask how many channels I moderate? You can ask. I don't actually know the answer. The ones that I actively moderate and plan and be like, okay, I need to be available at this time is Nick Nimmin, Doug Hewson, the StreamYard channel, Andrew Can. Think if there's anyone else this week. I think they're the ones that I keep most an eye on, but I also have maybe about another 15 or so that I can moderate for. If I happen to be in their stream. For me, it's a time zone issue. I'm in Australia. I'm not always awake when they stream, but if I am, then you know, I've got my little blue wrench and I can help them out. So yeah, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. But I only actively moderate for a handful. Oh, and Justin Brown, Primal Video, I moderate for him. So I moderate his very rare live stream, but I'm a moderator in his Facebook group as well. But yeah, I think they're about the like, yeah, good point. Cough, cough, Justin Brown. Yeah, some people rarely stream. Yeah, apparently Justin doesn't enjoy streaming, and I'm just like, what? No, I think he enjoys streaming. It's just a time thing. Let's have a look here. Your TV3 doc took nearly a week. Yeah, from like actual like it posted to it arriving. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like I was chatting. There's apparently an American yarn crafter got some yarn from a really popular Australian mill, and they had it from time of order to at their doorstep in 6 days. It took 6 days for that same mill to even just ship my parcel, let alone it actually get couriered around, you know. Yeah, it's one of those things. It took 16 days for a white pop filter for my granddaughter's Bifine K688 from Reporter store in the Netherlands. Yeah, like, it's just like, all right. Can I hire you? Sure you can. Just email me. Doug's like, no, get out of here. Oh, you're kidding. Why are you kidding? Oh my gosh. People hire me? I'm not unhireable. I've got coffee today. I've actually got really strong coffee today. I tried to do a thing and then realized it wasn't enough coffee, so I put a whole other shot of coffee in it, and now it's just like I'm awake. So yeah. Doc Rock is selling pop filters. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Doc Rock. Oh, that will be fun. Is it just solid colors or is it something? I don't know. Like, I could use a filter for my pod mic. I mean, that's pretty. The pod mics are pretty, I reckon. Like, that looks like you know, it's good. Anyway, I'm queen of the plosive, so I probably should get a pop filter for it. Do you guys think you need pop filters? Let me know in the chat. Is a pop filter something that's on your list that you don't have? A serious question. I don't know how serious I can be with this much coffee running through my veins, but I will try. How does one find good mods? That's actually a really great question. So you need to, I would say you've got two options. You either look within your community and you find someone that is super passionate and super reliable and is already helping out in your live chats. And you have a talk to them. You send them a message and you ask them the question, would you like to moderate for me? Now, we've had this discussion in great depth we've actually got a video, a live stream that was all about moderators. So you could probably kick back and have a little look at one of the previous ones. It was a few weeks back. But we were talking about, you know, do you have to pay your mods and all this sort of thing. Now, I know a lot of mods volunteer, and I volunteer for quite a few places. Some places I am kind of paid for in access, which I actually really appreciate. And some places I'm paid for, and I get paid cash $bucks, which is helpful to, you know, keep the lights on. So it depends. It really does depend. But one thing I will say is I would never mod for somebody whose content I don't like, or I find divisive, or you know, yeah, content that's just not my thing. Because as a moderator, you do have to sit there and you have to read every single comment. So if it's something that really upsets you or something like that, then don't be a moderator there. And so I always make sure that I like the content. You get paid. Look, yeah, sometimes I do. And you know, and as I said, sometimes it's cash, sometimes it's with access, sometimes it is nothing, and sometimes it's just, you know, the pat on the back for a good job. And it depends. Like, there's some places I will happily mod for, and you know, and I'll be honest, the places that I've modded for that I do get paid in now, I modded for them for a long time before I got paid. So it's one of those things where they were just like, actually, you know what, I love these channels and I want to be there, and I'm going to be there anyway, so I could have the wrench. But it's also really nice when that person comes back and goes, hey, I want you to come in every single week, and I want you to think of it like a job, and I want you to not miss a stream, because, you know, the stream runs better when you're there, or whatever it is that makes you feel good and warm in the middle. Because I will honestly say that sometimes sleep will come first. If it's not a paid job, sometimes I just have to sleep. Sometimes I need to, or do some other work or something like that. And this is the advantage of, if you pay your moderator in either access or cash, they can prioritize the moderating above something else in their life, and always be there for you. So yeah, it's part of, it's how do you want the moderator to think of the job? Like, do you want them to think of it as a job, as something that they can't miss, or do you want them to be like, it's chill if they're there, it's not chill if they're not? Like, for me, I'll be honest, Doug does not get paid. Sorry, Doug. Other than in my support, and any way I can help, and DMs are always open for Doug. But yeah, it's going to be different things for different people, and some people are going to want to moderate and they just can't prioritize it without income. And then other people are going to be able to absolutely do it, no problems at all. They do it for the pure joy. So it's going to come down to what it is. Actually, Doug's got some really good points here. I do most for the love, for channels I'm highly aligned with, and sometimes getting paid is actually rolled in with a larger role, like community manager, Discord community, Facebook groups. And usually when I'm getting paid, he's right, it is rolled in with something else. So it's normally like part of a broader picture. So I don't actually have like an hourly rate for moderating a live chat. I have like you know, this is the deal that I have with this person each month, and it includes this other thing. So it really does depend. Home improvement videos are not divisive until the hammer strikes my thumb. I love that. I love that. Mods are the business card owners of the channel, someone said. business card owners. I think more that mods are the like, I try to think of it as like mods are like the greeters at the door of a store. They keep an eye on things. They make sure everyone's happy. They, you know, help anyone coming in, and they, you know, but they're also security. So, you know, they're the greeters with the black security shirt. So they will also help you out with that. Chantelle, do you have a downloadable with a full checklist of what a channel should provide a moderator and what you believe a moderator should do? I don't have a full checklist, and I should make one. Moderator checklist. And I'm going to say this thing, and Doug's going to laugh again because I still haven't done it. I think that moderators, if you're going to have a moderator, so you're the streamer, and this is more for a streamer's perspective for their moderators. You need to support your moderators. The moderators need to know that you've got their back, that you're going to back their decisions, and you need to give them what they need to do their job. So if you've got preferred links, they need to have access to a link list. This is where Doug's laughing because he doesn't have one. So they need access to a preferred link list. They need to know what the chat rules are, which on this channel, I don't have access to the guidelines thing that's slowly rolling out. So I have all my chat rules in my description. So if you're not sure what they are, you can go and have a look at them. That's a resource that you could make and build available in Beamer. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got a couple of things, like I've got a live streaming checklist that I've got as the, so more like if you're going to go live, and these are the things that you check off before you go live. I've got that over as a, what do you call that? A lead magnet. That's the word, lead magnet for my email list, which I don't plug or write that many emails, but yeah, it is one of those. A mod chat room is critical. This is actually something Doug and I talk about a lot, and we really would love it if YouTube could make a back chat for moderators or a side chat for moderators. It's amazing. Doug and I actually moderate together for a few streams, and we'll actually be on a voice chat together. So we'll talk through things. Doug will stop me from banning people just because they annoy me. I'm like, I really want to kick that person out. And he's like, yeah, but you can't. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I really want to. So, you know, Doug's like, don't smack people out of the chat. So yeah, so we tend to do that, and we just do it through a Facebook call, honestly. So, and that's how we do it. We do it through a messenger chat. But there's a lot of different ways that you could do it. But the other thing that you could do, like if your streamer doesn't set it up for you, you could always ask the other mods if they're interested and set it up for them. And you could create like a little side room in a Discord that you're in, or a Discord that you've created. You could create it as a Facebook Messenger chat, a Google chat. But like, obviously, other than Discord, you would need I think their email addresses or access to, you know, be a friend to them on Facebook or something. So not sure if everyone would be cool with it, but it's always worth asking the question, especially if it's something that you would find, like I find that on the weeks where Doug and I can't chat, I find it a little bit harder to stay awake, because Nick's streams start at 11 p.m. our time in the current time zone and go through till 2 a.m. Then there's usually another stream after that, and sometimes another stream after that. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm getting very tired. I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it. So yeah. Discord is banned on a lot of networks. I didn't realize Discord was banned anywhere. I use Discord all the time. But I mean, what you could do, like, I mean, it's totally up to you, but you could just create a Discord. Discord's free, and you could just use it for this one thing and create a video, like an audio chat room, and just not use it for anything else. You don't have to make it public. It can be a private Discord and just go that way. But yeah, there's lots of options. You have a lot of choices and ways that you can now group communicate, whether it is voice or text. It's going to come down to the individuals, what they would prefer, and go from there. From company networks. Possibly, yeah. I know. Like I'll be talking about something and I'll send my husband a link and he'll be like, "Can't open that here. I'll have to check it when I get home." Maybe company networks. I don't use. I mean, I don't use company networks. So, if that's what you mean. Yeah. Local school boards have blocked Discord. Yep. Yep. I can see how schools would block Discord, but if it's like, are you moderators at school? Like, I'm just talking about a moderator chat here. I'm not talking about everything. So, I mean, I suppose all my mods are adults, so I don't think about, whether the schools have got them blocked or anything like that. Mm. Yeah, I agree. School makes sense. Definitely. I definitely get it. Um, so yeah, it's one of those things. So yeah, but yeah, I'm probably like, oh, I don't understand why that happens because my mods are all adults, but um, your mods may not be adults. You may have like a great student who, not student, but a great kid who is the perfect fit to be a moderator for your community. So I'm just checking. Okay. All right. Sorry, I just got a message and I wanted to double check what it was. And I didn't have my phone in the right spot. I just got to put my phone in its little spot. There we go. Phone's in its spot now. Good. Everything's in its place. So you work for an ISP and yeah, and you couldn't use. Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't mod from. I always mod from home, so it's a bit different. But yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to the individual mods and where they are and what they're expected to do. But you could have a discussion as like a group of moderators and just open it up and just be like, okay, where can we have this chat that suits everybody or suits most of us? And that could help rule out things like, okay, so we can't use Discord. We don't want to use, Messenger. Like you could work it out based on what people are happy with. But I 100% agree. A back channels mod chat it would be amazing. I really think YouTube should get on that. They're copying so many other things from Twitch. Like, please copy that. Like, come on, we want that. But like, I understand that the mods are such a small percentage of the YouTube audience and like the YouTube sort of roles as such, that it's probably not that big a priority, but that, they've been giving us some cool tools and giving us some access to some extra things. But yeah, a back chat for mods would be really good. Yeah, it would be. I'm just gonna run through here. Did I miss anyone's questions and all of that? Because I kind of did get a little bit lost. But yeah, it's just, I'm in this like, okay, back to work, Monday morning, holiday is over. I had 5 nights away at the beach. It is winter here, but winter in Brisbane is kind of amusing. Like, we're still down at the beach and we're still swimming, the water was still at like 25 degrees or something. And the venue that we stayed at had a heated pool, and the pool was heated to like 38 degrees. It was just insanity. It was like just swimming around in a bath. It really was. Let me just convert some temperatures. Hang on a second. 25 C to F. Okay, so the ocean was at about 77 degrees and the swimming pool was at 100. So yeah. Oh, wait a second. While I'm here converting things, Buy Me a Coffee has just sent me a message. So let me just. Did that work?
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino. Java. Yes.
Yeah. Buy Me Amazing Yacht Destinations has bought me 3 coffees. You can never have enough coffee, and I 100% agree. You can never have enough coffee. Although you can make your individual coffee a dash strong. Alrighty. Oh yeah, and the current temperature. So when I was swimming at the like I wasn't so much swimming at the beach. I was paddling. That was about 20 degrees. And it's currently about 16 now. It's very cold this morning. It's very, very cold. You need some freedom units. Do any other countries still use Fahrenheit for their temperature? I don't know. The YouTube Forge, also watching on my other new channel. The YouTube Forge. Who is this? So it's tools and stuff. I don't know who that is. But thank you. Michael Sahovsky is stepping away. That's cool, Michael. I appreciate you. Greg is tossing coffee cups at me. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the coffee. I love coffee. You know, like I know some people don't like coffee and stuff. Look, I am going to show that because I kind of agree with it. I'll bring it on screen once StreamYard picks it up. Oh, there we go. The USA is stupid with not going metric like the rest of the world. Look, I just think that, like, the American scientists and engineers are using metric. There's portions of the US industry that are using metric. And I really do think it would be just really nice if everyone could just get on board with metric. You know, 0 is frozen, 100 is boiling. It'd be great. Great. Oh, Amazing Yacht Destinations, that's your new channel. Oh, it's me. Well, I very much like that art that you've got going on there. I think it looks great. Oh, here we go. There's a few countries. So, United States, Cayman Islands, Liberia, Palau, Micronesia, and Marshall Islands. Yeah, that's a very small list of very small countries. And the United States. So it's kind of like, it looks very similar to the list of countries that tax their citizenry rather than their residents. Because did you guys know that? If you're in America, it's one of those things where even if you live in another country, you still got to pay your tax in US. Oh, and most of them are US territories. Oh, good point. Excellent point. Tech for your needs. My name is Lewis. Good to see you, Lewis. Look, I'm going to be really honest. I'm terrible with names. Unless your name is in your handle, I'm going to really struggle because I put names with faces, not with icons, and so it's just how my brain works. So please forgive me if I just continue to call you Tech for your needs. I will try to remember. You were going to say small. Yeah. They're rather small. Oh, Greg. Oh, thanks, Greg. I appreciate you letting me know that one. Oh, we've got a bunch of smart Alex here, haven't we? Well done. Good call. Goodness me. I'm just going to drink coffee over here. Oh, Frankie's in on it. My birth certificate reads Larry, but my passion is home rapid repair. Oh my gosh. You guys are amazing. All of you. I think we're all like similar people because I probably would have done the same thing. Like, hi, my name is Chantelle. Chris, not in my handle. Yeah. Chris made our coffee hit smash. Like, Doug, is it just me, or does it get to a point where you really have to really press down to make the roadcaster work? Because I thought I just had to sort of gently touch, but I really find I'm having to like really like woof. But I could be wrong. I could just be misremembering, you know. Also, it's cold, so maybe that's part of, I don't know. I don't know these things. I don't know everything. There's lots of things I don't know. So, I mean, I forgot that because I'm like, man, why did I buy these crew necks? I hate crew necks. Why did I buy them? And then I remembered, oh, that's right, because I actually hack them up with scissors. and change them into V-necks, which is what I've done here. I do prefer a roller cutter, but I did this one with scissors. I might have to tidy it up, but yeah, I'm like, oh, that's right, that's why I do that. So this morning I sat down and just like I fixed like 5 shirts. They're all fixed now. They're all wearable. So then I just sit in my drawer with me going, I really like that shirt, and then just not wearing it. So yeah. Does anybody else just like take scissors to clothes to make them, you know, wearable? Just like hack them up. My name is pronounced the same as your dog. It's spelt Louis, but it's pronounced like the French King Louis. So yeah, I have Louis the dog, who is sleeping down here. He's quite angry at me actually, because 1 minute before the stream started, he's like doing the scratchy scratch on my leg, like, hey, can you let me out? And I'm like, no, dude, I can't. So my little King Louis is down here with his back turned to me, you know, giving me the cold shoulder is what he's doing. So yeah, we've got the Louis effect happening. Summer is coming. So you guys start your seasons on the 22nd, don't you? We start ours on the 1st of the month. So we're already in winter. This is winter in Australia. But yeah, it is one of those things. That's the thing. He didn't want love. He wanted me to let him outside, but the problem is I can't just open the door and let him out and then stream for an hour and a half, because I've got to run away and go and get him back in, and you know, because he'll let the neighbors know that someone walked half a kilometer down the street and just be like, hey, I'm guarding the entire house. Oh, June 20. Okay. For some reason I thought it was the 22nd. Does it change, or is it always the 20th? You guys teach me so much stuff just about the world outside of Australia. Honestly, I had no idea that other countries didn't start their seasons on the 1st. I thought everybody started their seasons on the 1st. It just wasn't something that entered my brain as like an alternative. Like, I knew that was spellings that were different. Oh, they align them with the equinox and the solstice. So that would mean they change, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, that does make sense. I can see why. Just so you know, they trialled multiple times to implement the metric system across the board. It failed every time, even in the construction trades. Huge pushback. One thing I'll say, right, is that even though we're metric, you can still walk in and ask for a 2x4 and get 2 inches by 4 inches. You know, it's that there are things like I'm 5'3", and I also know what that is in centimeters. And so even though we've been on the metric system now for quite some time, like as a country, and for me my whole life, there's still things that are said that are imperial rather than metric. So yeah, and there's imperial, right? Because I'm like, you guys called them freedom units. So no, 163 for 5'3". I'm 163. I'm very short. Let's see. Look, I'm very short. Okay, so the longest day of the year is the first day of summer. Okay, all right. I mean, and I get that. That does actually make sense. But I think that so that we didn't have. I think the only thing that we have randomly floating around, depending on, you know, different phases of the moon and what have you, it is Easter. That's the only thing that really moves. Everything else is on a set date. Oh, okay. You call them freedom units because you can. Okay, I get it. A lot of our products instructions do print both metric and American. That's good. And like I've got tools here. Like I like tinkering. I'm not even intermediate level tinkerer, but I like to tinker with things, and I like to put things together, and I like to fix things. I strip back knitting machines and put them back together and things like that. Anyway, and I have Allen key sets or hex wrench sets that are both metric and imperial, because it depends on, because some things are used the metric and some things use the imperial, and the same thing with my little spanners or little wrench sets, is you know, metric and imperial. You have both because you just never know what you're going to need, and so if something's a mil off, it's not going to work. So near enough is not good enough when it comes to a lot of things. So it is a little perplexing, but you know, we just move on. We just move on. Oh my gosh, do you know what? I'm going to say something here. Over on my Fiberific channel, I actually have merch called Poke the Bear, because I do react when the bear is poked. So I've literally made some fun merch over there for poking the bear. Sewing machine presser foot still uses imperial. I think it's going to depend on the country of origin of your machine. The Japanese machines don't. So yeah. You know what, when you make your coffee too strong and yet it's still amazing and you're like, I totally have to do that again, except maybe somehow not need 2 shots of coffee. Like a shot and a half or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So what I did, okay, so what it's totally off topic. What I did was I make my coffee in here, right? But it only fills up to like, because I make a long black in my coffee machine. So it's an espresso machine that grinds the beans, grrr, and then spits out the coffee in the bottom, right? The long black only goes up to about here. And I was like, I want a full, like, this is, I think it's 12. I think it's a 12 ounce cup. And I wanted the full 12 ounces of coffee, right? So rather than just put a little bit of cold milk on the top, I went and heated some milk and then filled it up with the hot milk. I should have just done an espresso and then hot milk. No. So then I've drunk it and I can barely taste the coffee. And then added another strong shot of coffee in it. And then it was just like, ha ha ha, with our powers combined, we're now super strong coffee. Anyway, I don't know if I should stream with this much coffee in my system ever again. Just to be clear. Just to be clear. All right. Now I'm having a little look here at the questions. Okay. Now I'm just having a think. There was some things that came up. Andrew Can, has everyone seen Andrew Can's video on corrections? Because if you haven't seen it, you need to go and look at it, because oh my God, I cannot believe I missed it. I've been lamenting the loss of annotations for a long time. And the reason why I loved annotations so much was just for correcting little things in a video, rather than having to pull the video down and create a whole new video and add it when something became factually incorrect. Being able just to add a little annotation and go, hey, this thing here has changed. I am just blown away that I didn't know about it. Like, I had no idea it existed. Like Doug said, he remembered hearing something about it. I don't even remember hearing anything about it. So I'm just very happy that that it's there, and it doesn't appear to be that hard to set up. I haven't had a play yet, but I will. Let me have it. My dad always quoted Louis Amour said, "Coffee so strong you can float a bullet on it." Yeah, I'm not quite there, I don't believe, but I feel like I'm pretty close. You can stream with that amount of coffee. It's like, yes, you can do this. You could do it. You could make it. Surprisingly, most machine shops, no matter what country they're in, use imperial units, as it can measure in finer detail at the very small. See, that's the exact opposite reason of why engineers and scientists use, because you can get to smaller, more detailed in metric rather than imperial. We can have a fight over this. There's going to be beef. Yeah. Greg says freedom units might be the funniest thing I've heard all week. Not being political here, but oh my God, yeah. I had to, like, I didn't realize, like, I was like, no, they are imperial, aren't they? And then I realized it was just something you called them. Even better than IKEA on Johnny Strides. Oh gosh, and yeah, IKEA again is a whole separate set of tools. Like, I've got IKEA tools too, because I do build IKEA things. IKEA makes really great yarn storage, I just want to say. So if you're a yarn crafter or just a creative and need the Kallax boxes are just great. I'll just lay that out there. Okay, I just realized, right, that I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can stream with this. And then I just drank more coffee. I do have water here. I'll drink the water. I'll get the coffee taste gone. During Doug's stream this week, there was discussion over someone had checked on their Social Blade account and it had their category as something they weren't expecting. And I thought, I don't use Social Blade, so I went and had a look, and it has my channel as education, and I was so surprised. So I've jumped in to try and work out where it picked that up from, and I think Doug was saying that it was like it gets it from your last 10 video categories and then works out whichever one. Not one of my videos was classed as education, so they were either entertainment, which was incorrectly classified, which is just from streaming software is automatically choosing one and me not going back and checking, just because that's how important it is. It means nothing. And it is then I went back through my videos and I went back through some of my live streams. None of them were classed as entertainment. They were either how to and lifestyle, how to and style, or entertainment. And so I was just like, maybe if there's a combination of the two, it chooses education. I don't know. But I'm like, dude, I'll take it. I'll take being called an education channel. I don't know what that equals in millimeters. So yeah, I'd have to, or micrometers or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't. I'm just used to millimeters. I mean, as a crafter, I've had to learn how to, excuse me, I've had to adjust and learn how to, imperial, because a lot of patterns say, do this for 5 inches. And you're like, what is that? So I know that there's 2.54 centimeters in an inch, and I can nut that out and work it out for myself, or at least close enough. And a lot of sewing patterns, it's one of those things. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not small. I'm just saying that I think that it's, it's still doable in metric. That's all. But yeah, it's just interesting that, like, and as a yarn crafter, like, there's actually multiple crochet languages as well. So they're English, but there's the US patterns, and then there's the patterns the rest of the world has, and they use the same terms but to mean different things. So you've kind of got to like double check the origin of the pattern before you start, because you're like, okay, so if I do this but it's like a UK pattern, it's gonna be wrong, if it's a US pattern. So you've got to we all just need to like have a little look and check things out and just just learn them all. That's what I did. I've just gone in and learnt them all. Although I really do struggle converting degrees to Fahrenheit in my head. I can't do it. I have to use a calculator, and I'm sure there's like some easy. What's the word where you can make the formula in your brain, like as a song, but like, what do they call mnemonics? I'm sure there's a mnemonic that will help me to learn how to do it, but I don't know what it is. So if you guys have a mnemonic for me to learn how to convert metric to Fahrenheit, that would be great, or Fahrenheit to metric, that would be awesome. Yeah, look, I was used to, where is it? Hang on a second. I was used to all the spelling differences, and the fact that, like, we say aluminium and you say aluminum, and they're actually spelt differently. I was already on top of most of that, and that we use Z's a lot less than you do. Like, we use, like, for customization, we have an S in there, not a Z, things like that. So already on top of those. Yeah, do live streamers have patterns? Look, I think technically we probably do, but patterns of behavior rather than anything else, or you know, like you could have like a plan as a pattern. Plan as a pattern. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly, and that's probably as good an analogy as you can come up with it. Because if you've got the wrong country of origin, you could end up with a circus tent or doll clothes. Yeah, absolutely, because it changes the stitch heights. But yeah, it's very interesting having conversations with people from different countries, especially those, and this is probably the same for people that have got like gigabit internet and are just used to it and don't have no concept of those of the rest of the world that don't have access to gigabit internet. You know, it's like, oh, you don't have this UBU Cat 6 cable or Cat 7A cable for getting, you know, 10 gigabit. I'm like, dude, I don't get 10 gigabit data. Like, I don't have it. It's not here. My house connection doesn't have that. So yeah, it's understanding and accepting that we all have differences and that we all do different things. Leanne has jumped in. Leanne's a yarn crafter. Leanne understands the bane of working out the country of origin of a pattern. 9 a.m. didn't log into my brain again. You'll have to say hi to the replay watchers and I'll join you later. Okay, no worries, Leanne. Thanks so much for popping in. But yeah, and this is the thing, like remembering that these streaming platforms that we're using, they're owned by companies in different countries. I'm just trying to think, I don't think there's any streaming platform owned by an Australian company, just off the top of my head. I could be wrong, but StreamYard is now owned by an Italian company. vMix. vMix is an Australian company. Woohoo! I mean, that's the platform or the software, but YouTube is US. LinkedIn, that's US as well, isn't it? I think. Facebook is US. Twitter is US. Yeah, I think most of them are outside of my country. But yeah, I find that as long as we are understanding that not everybody that we're talking to lives geographically in the same places and that have different things that are important or not important, and you know, like, I mean, I joke about, you know, get your freedom units sorted out, but you know, it really makes no big difference to me because I use my metric system here and I'll just keep using that. But it's just important to remember that our audiences don't always live where we live. I'm guessing that the 11 of you over on YouTube right now, I'm having a guess that at least 6 of you are not in Australia. So I do have to remind myself as well that the Australian ideals and the Australian way of doing things is not always shared around the world. And that's the same with like the US and the UK and Africa, like everywhere. Our country of origin's way of doing things is not always what everyone else is doing. And it's a really good opportunity to learn things about different places. Like I've learned so much even just today. I always do. Greg's from Canada. I mean, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense, Greg, with the Canadian maple right there. Yeah, yeah. No secrets there. Frankie says, I'm a dual citizen. It's a struggle. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it would be. I can imagine it would be like feet on both sides of the line. But yeah, just keeping in mind, and also that your audiences, like when you're streaming, your audience may not be, they may not be exactly the same as you. Like it's quite easy to think, okay, my target audience is me, you know, people who like the same things I like, people who like, there is always this thing to keep in mind, that just because someone likes one thing, which could be the thing about your channel, doesn't mean they like anything else the same. And that can totally be, it can totally be the case across all of your audiences, that the only thing that all these people that are watching your videos have in common is this one thing that you're talking about in these videos. And it could be the thing that either pulls them all together, or it could be the thing that makes them divide. There's a little bit of power in this that you need to keep an eye on. And that's why it's so important to keep an eye on our comment areas and make sure that just everyone's being respectful of everybody else. Let's have a look here. The Mars Climate Orbiter was unsuccessful due to a navigation error caused by a failure to translate imperial to metric. Oops. That's a pretty big oops. That's a pretty big oops. Livestream Consultant says that Twitter, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Discord, Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, WhatsApp are US based. Okay, that's good to know. So none of them are from Australia. Canva's Australian. I'm like, what else? Da Vinci is Australian. Rode is Australian. We get all the gear, okay? Like the gear is ours, all right? The gear is ours. There's a few others. There probably are quite a few others. And this is the thing, and I want to say as well, there are other platforms that we don't use because, like for me, I can't use platforms that aren't English based because I can barely put a sentence together in English. So I can't use like any of the Chinese based ones or the Japanese based ones because I need an English based platform. So there are additional platforms out there that I just don't access or mention or talk about purely because I don't have the skills, like the language skills required to do it. Well said. Oh, thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. Well, lords and ladies of the internet, on that note, on this very random stream of streams, hopefully next week we'll be back to more on topic points. But this week I was like, I've been on holidays for a week. I'm just getting used to the fact that I'm not just waking up and going for a swim. So, yeah. Wait. No, funnily enough, I'm not. No. So, yeah. So hopefully next week I'll be back onto a more targeted topic. We can jump back into more detailed streams. If you've got a topic that you want me to hit and you want my opinion on, because that's really what it comes down to, it's my opinion. Make sure you add it into the comments, send it to me in a DM, somehow get that message to me and I'll have a look at it and it could be the next topic that we hit. Have an awesome week and I will catch you all next time. Bye now.